to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel Barbee. I would like to encourage everyone on my Facebook friends list, everyone in my social groups, and all of my listeners from around the globe. Please do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to my YouTube page, and share this audio podcast on all social media sites you are on, such as Facebook, Instagram, X, formerly known as Twitter, TikTok, or LinkedIn. Ladies and gentlemen, this audio podcast is available in two forms, audio and as a written text, in order for us to reach our audience. I am the founder and president of GRCAM, the Grassroots Community Activist Movement. Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos is our Black media component. I would like to encourage my listeners to subscribe to my Medium transcript so that you can look over my sources. I provide my Medium transcript in the comment section below this audio podcast. For those of you who don't know me, then get to know me by purchasing and reading my story. Quote, The Solution for Black America. Reclaiming, Rebuilding, and Restoring Urban Ghettos in America, second edition. It's available as an ebook for $9.99 or as a softcover book for $15 plus shipping and handling. Provide the link to my Amazon author page in the comment section below this audio podcast. After you have read my story, and if you agree with my vision and plan to help improve Black America, then make arrangements with me to come on this platform and let's talk about it. We also want to encourage others to get involved with our cause and to back up our film project. We have upgraded our platform by moving from an um, audio podcast to a video podcast. But right now I'm using audio because that's what I'm doing. We want to interact with our listeners in real time through Facebook Messenger during our live stream. I'm going to I'm going to send a challenge out to everyone that's listening to this audio podcast. I need you all to support our film project so that we can move beyond cyberspace and get our story on the big screen and let the Black world know who we are and what we're trying to do for our people who are trapped in American ghettos, starting in Chicago. Through our uh, um, through our film project, quote, Hood Liberator, made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins, unquote. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our campaign either on our GoFundMe page on our PayPal giving page, which will help fund marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. Our aim is to raise $250,000 so that we are using crowdfunding so that everybody would know exactly where the money is going. On our PayPal giving fund page, if you're a US citizen, you can use that as a tax write-off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit faith-based community advocacy organization. I use this platform in order to interact with everyone on my friends list, as well as give business owners, church leaders, and people that have special talents and I would say musicians, authors, etc. I give them an opportunity to promote their uh, information to the global community. After the show, I usually offer my guest speakers an incentive by teaching them how to create their own podcast, YouTube channel, create a free website for their business or ministries, find college grants and scholarships, and legal services all for free. And that's what we do over here. Coming events on Tuesday, February 4th, we have guest speaker Minister Fa- Farida from Cameroon. Saturday, February 1st, we have guest speaker Pastor Ruth from Zambia. Saturday, February 8th, we have Pastor Robert from Kenya. Thursday, February 13th, we have Minister Ruth Queen from Kenya. And Friday, February 28th, we have Minister Twileen Lee from Ohio. Please mark your calendar for our monthly virtual interactive conference, Saturday, February 22nd, 2025. Theme: How the Civil Rights Movement Was Hijacked by the White Supremacist Financial Elite. Where? YouTube/StreamYard. Time: 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. American Central Time, 3 p.m. Canadian Time, 9 p.m. West African Time, 10 p.m. South African Time, 11 p.m. East African Time, and 9 p.m. UK Time. Instructions on how to participate on our monthly virtual interactive conference. Just send me your email address to my backup Facebook page through Facebook Messenger. Then I will email you my audio. Just let me know when you are finished listening to my presentation. Then I will email you the link to get on the show. Depending on if I have a panel or not, then I will open up the show for Q&A. This is called Side B. I prefer to see you on camera before you come on the show in order to avoid trolls. Title of this presentation: GRCAM needs smart boots on the ground. Before I go into my presentation, on behalf of the grassroots community activist movement, we would like to give our prayers and condolence to the victims and their families. One of our senior citizens, an 80-year-old Black man, was killed by urban terrorists while he was just sitting in his car. 3 Black women were shot in an alley on the south side of Chicago. To learn more about these cases, go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast. The the new the new year has just begun, and already these urban terrorists continue to terrorize our neighborhoods and our streets. We have to watch out for both white supremacists as well as urban terrorists, ladies and gentlemen. The time has come for those of you who have been listening to my platform now for 3 decades to move from behind the computer and make presence known in the African American community and in the African immigrant community, starting in Chicago. If the grassroots community activist movement does not expand to other cities across the United States of America, then that's fine with me. At least we try. And that's what I want the Black masses and the Black world to know through docudrama. And that's why it's important, especially in this day and age. Again, we are up against a 400-year-old slave mentality within Black society, better known as Willie Lynch. Without support from African immigrants in America and like-minded Black Americans, then I'm unable to do my job, because truth be told, I am unable to reach Black Americans. Many of them have become Americanized and develop a narcissist attitude. I do not want to be bogged down with American issues. I want to connect with like-minded African immigrants within the United States of America who are standing on business like me, and who is willing to work with me to get my revised book on that bestsellers list and to get this film project fully funded and made so that we can expand Chi of Chicago in 10 African nations. They are as follows: South Africa, Kenya, Ethiopia, Tanzania, Uganda, Angola, Liberia, Ivory Coast, Ghana, and Nigeria. And once we establish in Africa, then we're going to expand to other African nations across the continent. Right now, we got to get it popping here in America first. It's my hope that this year I could connect with more like-minded Black Americans who will work with me in turning my vision and plan into a reality because I do not want to be doing this another 33 years and getting nowhere. Real talk. I wrote my revised book in order to recruit brave and smart, like minded Americans, brave and smart African immigrants within the United States of America. Unfortunately, my revised book has been on Amazon now for 13 years and still barely selling. Same thing for items on my virtual store. This is why my film project is my last attempt to try to do something positive for my racial group, Americans, before I cut and run to Africa. Because I want to make sure I have that credibility before I go over. Black Chicagoans got away with overlooking my vision and plan during the 90s, and that's okay. Now the Lord has blessed me with a global audience through this platform, and I refuse to be ignored. I want the Black masses and the Black world to hear me loud and clear. I offer something that no Black leader has within the United States of America, and that is a solution to solve all of our social issues in America and on the African continent if given a chance. I'm getting up in age, and my time of reaching out to Black Americans is coming to an end. I was told by some of my associates from the expat of America who reside in Africa that majority of the businesses are owned by foreigners, such as Asians, Arabs, East Indians, and Europeans. This is why it's important that we get GRCAM members for us to build the kind of Chicago in America first for credibility. Well, um, so that way we could expand it to the African continent. So that way we can do international trade with our brothers and sisters on the continent, replicate the business over there. Today, we're discussing the need to have smart boots on the ground in Chicago while pushing for our own Black agenda, which is to move GRCAM to the next level. And that's getting it on the big screen and then into the African American community, as well as in the African immigrant community. So help me God. Before we can call others beyond Chicago to come here, we have to get our story on the big screen first. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm asking everyone on my backup Facebook page, everyone in my Facebook social groups, everyone in my on my Instagram page, everyone on my TikTok page, everyone on my LinkedIn page, and everyone on my X page. Please either purchase my ebook or purchase the softcover book from my Amazon author page and read my story. Ask. There's no scam here. Selling a book is not a scam. That's ignorant people that talk that way. And those are the type of people that would not be part of my business. I provide the link in the comment section below this audio podcast. Again, read my story for yourself in order to get a better understanding about me, about my vision and plan for Black America and Africa. Then, if you feel that you want to be a part of this business, cool. Make yourself known to me. But provide my email address in there or my business email address in the book because I want to connect with my readers. If you disagree with my vision and plan, I'm gonna ask you to delete me off your friends list and don't come to no events with my name on it and stand on that. Don't change your mind. Because over here, we're going to declare war against this Willie Lynch mentality or this slave mentality. So help me God, as well as for African immigrants, we're going to declare that colonized mindset war against that as well. You feel led to work with me and turning my vision and plan into a reality, then cool. Make arrangements with me to come on this platform so we can talk about it. And put me on blast. You know what I'm saying? I'm making all these statements, but I can put what I say if given a chance. People want to overlook me, and that's okay. This is why I do my show. Um, okay, so let's say you agree with what I'm saying. You make arrangements with me to come on this platform so we can talk about it live on YouTube, and then we'll open up Q&A for my listeners from the global community so that they can have some input in this. All I have is my revised book, my virtual store, my online groups, and this platform. That's all I have. For 33 years, I have been standing on business, doing my best to recruit like minded, brave, and smart Black Americans, like minded, brave, and smart African immigrants within the United States of America to work with me in turning my vision and plan into a reality starting here in Chicago, Illinois. But I have little to no support. This is why I created um, the grassroots community activist movement in the first place to be on. This is why I'm online. I want to connect with people beyond Chicago. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they keep saying that they want to see something concrete, but they don't want to buy my book. They don't want to buy items from my virtual store. Now I'm trying to do a film, and they don't want to donate to the film project. So how they gonna see something concrete if they're not investing in it? You know what I'm saying? Um, Now the time has come for me to call upon my international friends from around the globe for them to step up and help me get my vision and plan on the world stage through this film project. But again, read my story first because that's something that you can buy. And that's, I put the ideas in there. Call upon Black filmmakers and African filmmakers in America to please read my story first. If you agree with if you agree um, with my vision and plan, then contact me through my business email I provide in my revised book. I call upon Black production companies and African production companies in America. Please read my story first. If you agree with my vision and plan to improve Black America, then contact me through my business email. I provide that in my revised book. Let's keep it Let's keep it a buck. Many Black Americans and Africans don't read material that will benefit them because of the programming from mainstream media. Our Black youth are into entertainment, and that's why this film project is important. Once we get this film project fully funded and made, then I will have the film shown at selected movie theaters across the country. We will also have the film available on a streaming service in order to reach our international audience. Once the proceeds from the film starts pouring in, then I will be in a better position financially to purchase property in Chicago, Illinois, buy office equipment, and hire qualified Black middle class professional and qualified African immigrants within the United States of America to help me build the best African American business in America, which will be the Grassroots Community Activist Institute of Chicago. During our virtual interactive conference we did on January 25th, the theme was Chicago documentary, quote, When the West Side Burned, unquote. Austin is my former community, and this is where we're going to make our presence known in Austin, Garfield Park, and North Lawndale, which was, part of that documentary where, after the assassination of Dr. King, A lot of black residents, they was upset and furious, and they start, burning, rioting. It was an uprising, across the country. But we focus on Chicago. So that's what happened. Once we're established on the west side of Chicago, then we will expand to the south side of Chicago. GRCAM Chicago is about raising the bar in Black America. Our objective is to promote Black economic empowerment. We will hold mandatory orientation for local residents. Anyone who comes through our doors will be checked, meaning we will vet them or screen them. Everyone must pass a criminal background check, sign the community pledge, and submit their thumbprint to be placed in our database. Now, we will offer a second chance program for ex offenders for nonviolent crimes and former gang members and homeless individuals within the community. We will offer them for street people because, after all, that's who we're there to serve. Non Black sympathizers are also welcome to join us, not as groups, but as individuals, and depending on where they stand as it pertains to lineage based cash payment reparations for descendants of American slaves / freedmen. In my business, we are M1, meaning melanated first. We are nonpartisan and we're not Democrat nor Republican. We are independent. There will be protocol in place to separate us from con artists, black boule, degenerates, democratic shields, hardened criminals, pedophiles, off-code Negroes, and urban terrorists. All of the principles in my revised book is the code for GRCAM members. Those who are not part of us, we will pray for them, show them tough love, and keep it moving because life is too short. And again, I do not want to be doing this another 33 years. We will have consequences for those who may try to undermine us or try to steal funds from the business by posting their name, photo ID, and address on our Judas list for all members to see and to excommunicate with them. We may also take legal action against such persons, and they will be barred for life. This is how I get down. I'm not on here playing games. This stuff is real. It's how come I've been pushing my message for the past 33 years. It's a shame, I'm being taken as a joke by Black America. You know, and for this business title, since 2010. It's not cool at all. But as soon as we get this business popping here in Chicago, I'm turning the business over and I'm going to expand the business to South Africa. To prove to Native Africans that I mean business. I'm not some dude that's just trying to hide behind a computer. I'm just trying to connect with other like-minded, brave, and smart people that's standing on business like me. That's all I'm trying to do, and work with Africans that want more out of life. This is a Nehemiah assignment. Again, I do not operate like the next Black man. I have my own style and way of doing things. You don't have to like me, but you will respect me because I respect everybody. And I refuse to be disrespected. And you thinking you're going to work in my business, you better think again. The sooner we get this film project fully funded and made, the sooner we can start building GRCAM Chicago. I'm proud to report that we have our GoFundMe page updated and up and running now. I spoke with a representative and they told me I cannot use the word Ethiopia on GoFundMe page because they don't want the funds to be going towards the some type of ongoing war that's happening over there. So I use the word Zambia. But on this platform, we will continue to reach out to African immigrants from Ethiopia within the United States to come forth to work with us. My birthday is coming up January 31st, and my birthday wish is that everyone on my backup Facebook page, everyone on my social groups, and all of my listeners from around the globe will purchase my revised book, either my ebook or the softcover book, and read my story. I also wish that everyone would donate to our film project. Um, would be very nice. And, those of you that are American citizens, I recommend that give that donation through a PayPal giving fund page, which is located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Which is again, that's going to be I'm going to upload this to my YouTube page, so this is where you're going to find all the information. Again, where are my Black supporters? There are. Where's the Black grassroots? Where's the global African family? During the November election of 2024, 92% of Black women helped raise $1 million for Kamala Harris. She was in office for 4 years and didn't do a thing for the African American community. I always come with receipts. All you have to do is just click on my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link, then scroll down to show and prove, and you will see what I'm talking about. The agenda is supposed to come from the community, which is the Black grassroots. We're not supposed to be accepting agendas imposed on us by Black politicians who are, in fact, in the pockets of the white supremacist financial elites carrying out their agenda. If we're waiting on politicians to bring us an agenda that's favorable for us, just know that it will be filled with trick bag language to undermine our agenda and to maintain the status quo, which is to keep the African American community stagnant for the next 50 years. Notice since the murder of Trayvon Martin, um, Ahmaud Arbery, and Mike Mike Brown, those three events kicked off this online activism on social media. The mainstream media was telling us we can't hold road cops accountable for their actions. It's too difficult. That's what the white supremacist corporate media want us to believe. We kept pushing the issue at the Black grassroots level, and all of a sudden things have changed. Law enforcement now wear body cam. It's enough to hold law enforcement accountable, but also the prosecutors who either ignore their duties or collaborate to violate. I found an article from the Associate Press entitled, quote, Ahmaud Arbery killer avoids arrest at first. Now an ex-prosecutor faces trial for misconduct, unquote. To read the full article, just go to my Medium transcript located in the comment section below this audio podcast. Click on the link and scroll down to show and prove. Here's a summary of what they were talking about. According to the Associate Press, Jackie Johnson had served for a decade as district attorney for Southeast Georgia's courthouse. Three outside prosecutors appointed to take over the case. One of the prosecutors concluded that McMichaels was legally attempting to detain Arbery and that the shooting was justified so there goes Georgia's justice. The Attorney General Chris Carr ordered an investigation of the two prosecutors in May 2020. Soon after the McMichaels were arrested, Carr said he appointed Barnhill based on Johnson's recommendations. The prosecutor appointed Barnhill based on Jackie Johnson's recommendation, but wasn't told Barnhill already had advised police that Ahmaud Arbery killing wasn't a crime. So, in other words, they tried to justify the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. The former prosecutor became a criminal defendant when a grand jury indicted Johnson on September 2nd, 2021. Carr announced his office was prosecuting the case. Johnson is charged with violating her oath of office, which is a felony punishable by 1 to 5 years in prison. By using her position, she showed favor towards the McMichaels. The indictment also charged her with a misdemeanor hindering police investigation, the shooting by directing that Travis Mc, McMichael should not be placed under arrest. Family, it, it it isn't that the laws are not on the books. The laws are already there. We are living under a system of white supremacy, meaning the white supremacist financial elites can make up any laws. After all, it's their system. They the one created it. The indictment also charged her with a misdemeanor. Johnson told the Associated Press in 2020 that no one in her office told police not to make arrests. Her lead defense attorney, Brian Steele, said during a December pretrial hearing that Johnson was focused on seeking an unrelated high profile indictment case. Remember, this happened under the Biden administration. They attempted to prevent the McMichaels from getting their punishment. We never saw the state and the federal government working together to protect a guilty black person. As a matter of fact, they got together to victimize innocent black Americans, which is exactly what they did here. Both the state and the federal government collaborated together to victimize an innocent black person, to say that you have no rights and that you are authorized to deputize any citizen to murder you at will, and that is the law of the land. How many other Ahmaud Arbery's are there out there that she victimized? I'm just reading the news. This is why we need a anti-black hate crime bill. But since I have little to no support for all the work that I've been trying to do for Black America for the past 33 years, it's time that I take my advocacy to South Africa. The Lord knows I don't want to, like I say, I don't want to be doing this another 33 years. I'm not on here playing games. It's not my fault I can't find people to want to work with me, because I'm on the up and up. I'm not about that corruption. That's just how it is. I'm asking African immigrants within the United States of America to work with me in getting my film project fully funded and made so that we can build GRCAM of Chicago, then expand it to South Africa because I do not want to waste any more time reaching out to Black Americans that don't want, you know, that don't want a solution. It's just that simple. I am unable to reach them due to this 400-year slave mentality within Black society. It is what it is. It's very clear that Jackie Johnson was collaborating with criminal defendants to help them with the crime and to shield them from punishment for committing a crime. She should be charged with accessory to a crime. She's an accomplice and she should be charged as such. We're in the best country in the world, the United States of America. We're in the biggest global shift that's occurring right in front of our faces, and that's the invention of AI, artificial intelligence. Is technology that allows computers to perform tasks and typically require human intelligence. Back in the day, people had to attend a community college or university to gain those corporate jobs. Today, we have access to those corporate jobs on our smartphones or laptops. It's my hope that GRCAM members, both Black Americans and African immigrants, would come to Chicago and help me build the best African American business within the United States. We would provide Black jobs to Black youth through our Black econ- ec- uh, through our Black empowerment films. The kind of Chicago's objective is to strengthen the Black family while making a positive impact within the community by meeting the needs of broken families and healing from the scars of slavery. The kind of Chicago would become an economic base for the African American community and the African immigrant community. We aim to expand the business to 10 African nations so that we can do international trade with our people and our members. The Kai of Chicago will raise the bar in Black America and in Africa. We will create our own torch and pass it down to the next um, generation of GRCAM members. Black America is in trouble, and if you don't fight against this slave mentality, then our children will suffer the consequences. Where is our Black legal class? We have people like Edward Bloom, a Jewish American, fighting against what our grandparents fought and died for in this country. They are rolling back all of the gains from our grandparents during the civil rights era. I would rather expand my Christian business to Africa and work with Native Africans who want more out of life. We, if we lose Africa to the white supremacist financial elites, we lose everything. What we don't need DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion, or affirmative action programs. In Chicago, Chicago, under our for-profit business, we would own and control our community grocery stores, community healthcare clinic, and community housing. We're doing worse today because under Jim Crow, we had more Black businesses in the 40s than there were in the 1980s. 7% of the people in the world own 90% of the world's wealth. That's ridiculous. And that's why we have so much poverty and wars and fights because of these white supremacist financial elites are trying to hoard all the natural resources in Africa. 7 European nations owe Africa reparation for colonization. Black Americans have to stop patronizing all these other groups like the Chinese and East Indian businesses and start supporting brothers and sisters like me who are trying to build something positive for the Black community. Terrorism comes into play because capitalism requires violence in order to keep its status relevant. As long as we remain in the United States of America, the white supremacist financial elites will continue to target us. We're not going to receive freedom, justice, and equality from descendants of slave owners. Black America is in serious trouble because of this slave mentality within Black society. For example, in the case of George Floyd, a road cop was on top of that brother's neck for 9 minutes in broad daylight. No FBAs intervened to help save the brother. All they did was took out their phones and did shoot some video. No one called 911. In the case of Jordan Neely, again, a brother was murdered in public. No FBAs intervened. To add insult to injury, his own Black American family failed him. So, Sonia Massey left alone without a black man in her home, which caused her to be a victim of, by road cop. Robert Brooks was beaten to death by road cops caught on tape because Black Americans as a collective is off code. Again, my message is not for all Black Americans, it's for like minded Black Americans and like minded African immigrants who are interested in what I'm talking about, who's interested in being part of the solution. I need all hands on deck. I found an article in Foreign Policy entitled, quote, the FBI's new U.S. terror threat, quote, Black identity extremists. The white supremacist financial elites know how Black Americans move, and a white policeman murder an unarmed Black man. They know many Black Americans are going to march and protest. Now they are calling Black protesters Black identity extremists to justify murdering more Black Americans. Marcus Garvey had it right. Black Americans had an opportunity to up and leave, but so many of us were afraid of the unknown. We have been separated from Africa for 400 years. I am kind of disappointed with the Ghana situation. They have given 300 non-blacks people citizenship. I believe some of them are hidden racists. We are trying to remove ourselves from these racist people. That's why we're returning to Africa, not to return and have them all over the place. I am so proud of our brothers from Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, for kicking out the French after 39 years of exploitation. Now it has spread to Chad, Ivory Coast, and Senegal. So shout out to you all. I believe we would have a better chance at getting our reparation if more of us were on the continent, African continent, then we would be would have more support from Black African population to back us up. And eventually they will also get their reparations too. The only way that we're going to survive in America is that we have to connect with other like minded Black Americans and like minded African immigrants while separating ourselves from those who are part of the problem, the enemy within. We need finances, resources, and each other. Our ancestors built the United States of America, and we can build up Africa to become a first world nation. A majority of Black Americans want to be adjacent to white culture, white institutions, and white businesses. If we don't know how to create value for our own things we created, then who will? The wealth gap between blacks and whites will only be fair if we had reparations. Once we control the means of production, means of distribution, agriculture, um, construction, and manufacturing, I would ask our CAM members if they want to be free. Do they want to value our own things, or do they want to allow white America to continue to beg them for freedom, justice, and equality? CAM members need to decide, do we want to create something that is Black and African, or do we want to remain adjacent to white culture? In the Kai of Chicago, we will encourage our members and students to create their own industries. If we're going to continue living in America, we have to realize that we're living under the system of white supremacy. So no matter how many times we go out there and march and protest, um, America, the foundation of America is anti-Black racism. And that was created even before the Constitution was written. We have to learn how to live in a first class nation while being treated as fourth and fifth class citizens. I'm sorry to say that, but hey, that's reality. As long as you live here. That's why I want to bring my business over to Africa and fight those white supremacist financial elites head on over there because they don't belong there. They can have America. I want GRCAM members to become global citizens and not being treated as fourth and fifth class citizens. You know, um, for me, it's not about just running to Africa. It's about establishing Black institutions that will benefit both the African American community and the international African community. If we're going to remain in America, then we have to play by their rules, like it or not. But for those white supremacists in Africa, we're going to have to confront them head on because that's our ancestral homeland and our birthright. Please leave a public comment about the topic in the comment section below this audio podcast and share with your friends on all social media sites that you are on. This will help get the ball rolling. Thank you all for listening. We greatly appreciate it. Put me on blast by telling all your friends and family to listen or watch our content on our YouTube page. I'm going to send a challenge out to everybody that's listening to this audio podcast. I need you all to support our film project so that we can move beyond cyberspace and get our story on the big screen and let the whole Black world know who we are and what we're trying to do for our people that's trapped in American ghettos, starting in Chicago. Quote, Hood Liberator made in Chicago, the war against Willie Lynch begins. You can be a part of this historic docudrama by contributing to our campaign either on our GoFundMe page or on our PayPal giving page, which will help fund marketing, promotion, clearance, legal, and general expenses. I would like to thank everyone who have contributed or will contribute to support our film project on our GoFundMe page. Or if you're a U.S. citizen, then you can use our PayPal giving page as a tax write off because this is a legitimate 501c3 nonprofit, faith based, and community advocacy organization. You can also purchase items from our virtual store or purchase my revised book. Ebook is $9.99, and the softcover book is $15 plus shipping and handling. We appreciate your support. You can find all of the links below this audio podcast in the comment section. Thank you for listening to our YouTube live or the replay. Thank you for subscribing, liking, and sharing. I want to thank all of you for listening to our audio podcast on Spotify. If you are new to Help Stop the Genocide in American Ghettos podcast, welcome to our safe space where we discuss Black issues. We do this every week. Please do me a favor. Click that subscribe button, hit that like button, and join us each and every time we are here. This will conclude our audio podcast for today. We will see you on the next episode. Peace and blessings.